This part we're gonna make is stripes, and we'll start its tail. We firstly make the stripes. Stripes are done just by inserting strings for loops on its back and then making one stitch of 4B1 for each stripe. The tail on this part consists only with box stitches. We make 3 times a 90-degree turn, and also we change from brown to yellow. For the 90-degree turns, I'll use option number 2. So you can check the video on the description or on the cards. I do recommend you to watch it before making this part. Also, just as part 7, we will change from brown to yellow, and this is shown in another video that I showed recently. I'll put also a link for the color brown that I use. One last thing, that I used light brown strings for making the tail because it's hard to see medium brown, especially when making a 90-degree stitch. So don't get confused, you need to make it with medium brown, not light brown strings. When I changed to yellow string, I off-screen cut the entire thing and made it back to medium brown. So good luck! We're gonna start with the stripes. Each stripe consists with a 3B1 stitch. So a slip erect stitch, so only one stitch, and then you cut the strings and glue the stitch. I'll start with the upper stripe. We need to cut 4 new strings, 4 new brown strings, which will be 1 feet long each. And I'm going to count from the upper head, from the head itself, from starting with head. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 loops you count from the upper head. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to insert a first string out of the 4 strings through this one, and then through this one, through this one, and then through this one. Remember that it's also, you can see that if you follow horizontally, you get to the center of the hands. Follow here, and you get to the center, which is here. So you know that it will be this one, this one, this one, and then this one. Okay. Let's take a first string. I'm gonna sharpen it to be easier. So sharpen string and right through the 13th loop. Next through this one. So it's the row of a 13th stitch, basically. Okay, after a third loop, you want to get one down. This one. Now the reason, you will see in a moment why. Because you want to insert 3 strings in between the brown string. So we need 4 loops to insert to do that. Finding the center of a string, I'm going to insert now 3 brown strings through this loop, and through this loop, like the 3 brown loops. Let's start with this one. through this brown loop, first string, okay, now through this loop, and finally the third string through, you see, we open up the third and fourth in between them, you see, create a third loop which we're going to insert a third string. Get through and close it up. So naturally now you'll find that the orientation of a 3x1 stitch you want to make is this one will be the upper side here, and that'll be the downside here. Okay, it seemed logic because this loop is more down and this loop is more up. So this one go down, this one goes up, and then make your stitch. One last string, we got that, and just make sure that all the strings are straight and not tangled or whatever. And only thing is to stretch it. So you'll get kind of this kind of stitch. And now, yeah, you need to tighten it up, make it straight. I'm gonna cut the strings. Push your endings with your thumbs. So do that. And gluing your stitch. We're gonna make his second stripe, again a 3x1 stitch. I have 4 new strings, the same length as before, 1 feet long. I'm gonna insert through, so we count from the loop that we started with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this loop, we insert through this loop, then through this one, then through this one, then finally through this one. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We start with this loop. Take one of the strings Firstly, I'm gonna sharpen the string. Okay, first. Second, getting through this loop. Got through two loops. Again, this one. Next will be this one, and then final will be this one. Third loop. Now, the reason I chosen the last loop, which is this one, but because you want the last loop to be second column from the left. That's the first column from the left, and that's the second column. So I'm not gonna choose this one, but this one. Okay. Yeah, for this, and then instead of this one close to it. Find the center of a string, pretty important. And yeah, as before, inserting through this loop, and through this loop. So we create loops with a new brown string, and we insert our other three strings through these loops. Again, I created a loop here, and I insert the new string through it. The third loop will be this one. So create here a loop, and you want to insert the last string for it through it. And let's get, I'm sorry that it's pretty hard to see, but you can see. Next we make the stitch. So that's the same as before. This loop is slightly higher than this loop, so you want to make sure this one is in the up side and this one is on the downside, and you just now make your super brick stitch. So only one stitch. Give me a second. Always over and under. just a simple stitch, and we close it, stretch it. That's the kind of thing you'll get. And now cutting the strings. Also off screen I'll cut it a little bit more because I can't really see from here, from my camera. I need to watch it closely. So I'm gonna trim it here more. I'll push the endings now, just a little bit. And glue the stitch. So I'm gonna make his tail now. The tail consists of box stitches up to here. So we start with a box stitch and then go in the direction this points towards me here, and then we go left and then up and then left, and by the end of this we finish the box stitch and then we continue with a break stitch and then a super break stitch. But anyway, we're gonna continue up to here in part 8. We make 1, 2, 3 9-degree stitches, and I'm gonna use option 2 for this. So I'm gonna use light brown strings instead of medium brown because it's hard to see this color, but on your side you want to use this brown, same color as these guys. The length of these two strings is 60 centimeters. It's about 1/2 feet. I'll take one of the strings, doesn't matter which. I want to insert through 2 loops. We count from the left, we count 1, 2, 3. So this loop, inserting through this one, and then inserting through this one. So to go like this. One is here. And one is inside here. Wait a moment, I'll show you. We get through here and then get through here on the right side. So I start to stitch the string, find the center of the strings, of course, and then I want to insert the second string through the loop. So the same idea as before on the stripes. I'm gonna create a loop out of a light brown string, and I'm gonna insert the second light brown string for it, through it. And find the center, of course. Make sure it's straight. Next I'll make a few box stitches. Again, the left side is moved down, so this will be down because you get through this loop is down than this one, so this left string will be down and then the right string will be up, and then you create the box. and another 3 more stitches. So only box stitches. One more. We don't cut it, we leave it. I'm gonna make now a 90-degree stitch. And next gonna make a 90-degree stitch on the left side. I start with taking a new string, cutting a new string about 1 feet long. I'm gonna sharpen it even more. And I want to get through the second loop from last. So the left side, therefore we want to insert the new string through the left side of a stitch here. We want to insert it through the second loop from last, this one. So you want to open this loop, so make it gonna be pretty tough. What you can do usually, you can undo one stitch and then insert. It'll be easier. Okay. Make sure it's straight. Now it looks nice. I'm gonna make a box stitch. I'm gonna pick the 2 sides of a new string, this one and another one, this one. And yeah, we have 4 strings to make a box, so all these 4 strings. This string naturally gonna go up, this one go down, this one will go to the right, and this one will go to the left. Yeah, to the left here. Left, right, up, and down. So we're gonna do it. That's how it does. Stretch a stitch. And let's move on. What you can do now is we can glue already these 2 strings, so you can cut with 2 strings, and then when you want, you can glue them. Closing up. We're next gonna make 4 more box stitches. Before making the last stitch, you're gonna open up this loop a little bit because you're gonna insert a new string for it because you want to go up. So loosen this loop a little bit, just enough to insert a new string, and then make one more stitch. So then I'll take one more string, add a new string, again about 40 centimeters long, 1 feet long. Gonna insert through the loop that you opened, so through this loop here. You want to go 90 degrees up. Okay, hopefully you got that. Find the center of a string. Next, we're gonna make the 90-degree stitch that we're gonna turn in the up direction. We're gonna take the two sides of the new strings to make a stitch. These two, we're gonna take this string, and we're gonna take this string. This one naturally goes up, so we're gonna stay up. This one naturally goes to the right, so it will keep on the right. That leaves us that this one goes to the left, here, left, and this one goes down, here. So this one is not naturally going to go down, but it must go down because all the other strings must go to the other directions. I'll take this one down, this one up. So I'm gonna show it really slowly because it's hard to see. Next, this one goes to the right. And finally this one to the left. You got the idea? And I'm gonna start to stitch. These two strings you don't need anymore. These two. So we can cut these and glue the stitch. So I've got two new yellow strings, 80 centimeters long, about 2.5 feet. I suggest even to use longer strings, about 3 feet, 1 meter long. And I'm gonna change from brown strings to the yellow. So I'm first gonna make one more box stitch. And before pulling the strings, I'll change it just as we did with the ears, from changing from yellow to black. So we take first one string. I'm gonna insert it on the vertical line from here and getting out on the other side. And next I'll take the other string and we'll do with a horizontal line from here to here. So one here and one there. The yellow, don't doesn't matter which one is over which, it's the same thing. So horizontal over vertical over opposite, doesn't matter. We stretch the brown strings. And now comes the part that we need to make it closer, the four strings to each other. So what we did, we just pinching the strings. And after that, well, we need to, sometimes it takes a couple of times. So first we need to stretch and then do it again. Okay, this looks better. Now I cut the strings and then I glue the stitch. It does take a couple of tries. Like if you've never done it before, I said in ears part 7 that you need to make some samples before making it on your Pikachu. So check the intro of part 7, please. Yeah. And after that, I'll just one final adjustment with my thumbs, and now I glue the stitch. I'll go now and change back the light brown strings back to brown strings, and then we're gonna continue on forwardly. Okay, so I came back and I did everything that I showed you, but with brown strings, medium brown strings instead of light brown strings. So on your side, you'll get something like this. We're going to continue. I'm gonna make a few more yellow stitches. Yeah, on your side you end up with medium brown with yellow strings, and I'm just gonna continue with some yellow box stitches. Okay, the first stitch, you need to always check if the first stitch looks fine. And I'll make a few more, so I'm gonna make, I did one, so another 2 stitches, 2 yellow stitches. After making this second stitch, okay, I'll make one more stitch and then I'll gonna need to make another 90-degree stitch, the last 90-degree stitch we're gonna do for this part. I'll make one more stitch. We need to make a left turn, 90-degree turn. Okay, left here. Remember, one is here. We made a 90-degree here, and then you made a 90-degree up, and now we're gonna make a 90-degree to the left. We went up, we want to go to the left, so we need to insert a new yellow string through this loop here. So let me show you. We came here, we went left, we went up, up, and now we again left. We want to insert through this loop here. This is a face parallel to this side. This is the side that is parallel to this side. So we want to insert through this loop. Have a new string. The new string will be, again, 2 feet long. It'll take time now for me to insert a string. Okay, finished. Now we'll straighten it up. Find the center. So a bit here. Okay, fine. And we want to make 90-degree. Again, we want to make 90-degree here on this face. We take this string, we take this string, and we take the 2 new sides of a new string. So stretching the last stitch up again. Before doing that, I'll take this string, and these 2. This one will be facing down. This one, well, first of all, this one will be faced to the left, in the left direction. This one to the right direction. And finally this one, because everybody is already used except for up direction, therefore this is going to be on the up direction. I'll show you again. This one down, this one up, this one left, and this one to the right. Okay, so I'll take first the up and down sides, then the left, and then the right side, pointing to the right, and we've made a stitch. Okay, exactly the same idea as we did in the left direction, the first 90-degree turn. So exactly the same side also, if you find it difficult. And yeah, after switching the stitch, you can check out if your stitch actually did turn to the left. So mine did. You can make a few more stitches and you'll notice to what direction you actually did. And if you made a mistake, you just go back and find the direction that you need to turn. Meanwhile, also going to cut these 2 yellow strings. And I'll glue the stitch. So I'll make a stitch. 2 more stitches. We finish off first half of a tail. Next part we'll finish off the entire thing. We also made these stripes, and yeah, this is how it's gonna look like on your side. Be sure to use these colors, and yeah, so see ya.